That's how you do it. That's how you do a sports SUV. Porsche has perfected that formula. Everyone thought Porsche was crazy to abandon their sports car route to make an SUV. But I think kind of shifting away from Europe to assemble this car in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, in this country is more controversial. But I love it because being someone who also grew up in Kedah, actually Alor, come on, being in a state where you actually produce Porsches is pretty awesome. And this car is the facelifted version of a car that was already introduced in 2021 as the first Porsche assembled outside of Europe. That's pretty special. So, controversy aside, or is it Cayenne-troversy, whatever, I think this still looks a little bit too much like the second generation Cayenne. They have played it safe with this third gen all the way until this facelift right now. Even the facelift kind of looks a little bit too much like other cars. Example, okay? From the front, I know they've incorporated a few things from the Taycan, like slimmer headlights. The whole kind of front end is a bit more compressed to replicate the Taycan-ish from the front, okay? You have these slats over here, which look like they're from the Macan, and from the back especially, okay? Because now they have this single long light bar at the back. It looks just like, and the way the curves kind of come around the sides as well, make it look just like the Macan. As a platform, I think the Cayenne should really show the way forward with how Porsche SUVs should be styled. And look at these wheels, right? This looks to me like reminiscent of the 996 GT3. But over here, 20-inch wheels, by the way, it looks so kind of buried and lost in this huge car. Thick sidewall, big wheel, but you can't really tell that. It doesn't really feel like you're buying a really high-end car because the wheels are so small, undersized. In Malaysia, you can have 21-inch wheels. I think it's a set design as well, for 45,000 ringgit. If you want 22-inch wheels, you can get those for 49,000 ringgit. Under the bonnet, have these slats over here like the Macan. Open it up, you have a 3-liter V6 turbo engine, and it has 353 horsepower, 500 Newton meters of torque. In the middle somewhere, you have an 8-speed gearbox, automatic. You also have an all-wheel drive system, power to all 4 wheels. This is a heavy car, so it gets to 100 from standstill in 5.7 seconds. Anyway, you can blame Porsche for all the sport SUVs that shouldn't exist. Porsche continued to make and were the originators of the first sport SUVs, and were making some of the best ones, if not the best one. Does that still apply to this Cayenne? And so far, all signs point to yes, regardless of what I have to say, because the Cayenne was recently voted as the People's Choice Award winner for the best mid-range premium SUV at our Carless Car of the Year Awards 2023, powered by Bridgestone. So congrats to Porsche. So when you're inside the Porsche Cayenne, the first thing that screams out at you is the fact that it feels like a Porsche should, because every touch point is very, very solid, almost like they've wrapped leather around a rock. Solid, really, really solid. That's the first impression I get from any Porsche. And the fact that this is assembled in Kulim is kind of mind-blowing. And I also get an optional extra, which other Porsches have, but in this case, the Cayenne has a standard, the Sport Chrono package, which also raises the top speed to 248 km per hour, which is pretty fast. Now, gear selector is all the way here. It's a little stalk next to the, in between the infotainment screen and the digital dash, which it's kind of awkward to get used to, but I guess it's fine. It's just not my favorite spot. In the center over here, you do get a big hump, all right? It is an all-wheel drive car. Not too bad, okay? You can live with it if you have to sit in the middle for a long road trip. Center over here, you get quad zone air conditioning, climate control, control temperature and fan speed, and of course, you know, the usual air conditioning vents. Again, don't get black on black, it's just so boring. You can actually fold these seats 60-40 to reveal a quite flat loading bay, all right? And then you can poke your finger through here to actually reveal, oh look, I can actually like just plug and play the rear seat infotainment system thing that Porsche can sell you at a good price, I guess, as an option for this CKD Cayenne. And you also get a Bose sound system, okay? And also you get soft closed doors like in a Rolls-Royce. If this load floor is a little bit too high, because it rides on air springs, you can lower it a little bit. Also, I can't find anywhere on this car like an Easter egg that says this car is assembled in Kulim or in Malaysia or whatever. Even the ashtray behind here says made in Germany. I wish there would be like an Easter egg I could find that would say it actually is built in Malaysia. Wouldn't that be cool? It feels from behind the wheel like a really sorted out hot hatch, like a Golf R. All right, all-wheel drive, pretty tight, okay? Oh, the last word in feel, there's a bit of a compromise there. When it comes to outright pace, you can't deny it's really, really good. It's really sorted out. But then I forget that this Cayenne is so much higher off the ground and so much heavier, and yet I don't feel that sensation. All the instruments and the dashboard and the center console cocoons me into a sense that I'm driving a car much lower to the ground and much more sporty. Oh, the way it just claws. I was making a U-turn there. The way it just claws out of a bend, a tight bend. You put the power down and it just kind of claws. And the thing is, it provides feedback that is so rare. Provides feedback as to like what the front end is doing. Okay, is it clawing? Is it clawing? How much? Does it stop clawing? Where's the power going? You can actually feel that through the steering wheel. Porsche has switched over from like 2013, like 10 years ago maybe, to electric steering. And you know, you do miss that, you know, that really kind of chit-chatty vibration that you would get with hydraulic steering. But in terms of steering for electronic steering, Porsche is still really the best. And the thing is, you could mistake this almost for a double clutch. With the way it shifts, it's so aggressive. All right, over here, braking, third gear, there you go. I pull the pedal, it downshifts. Not even hesitation, just downshifts. Wow. Yeah, you know what? It could stand to be a little bit more rapid and just blood to the back of your head kind of fast in the straight. But when you get going, so impressive. And the brakes, this is not anything special, but the brakes are really, really strong too. Yep. Sport SUV. This is the benchmark. But then it quiets down at a moment's notice after you spanked it a little bit. So you have a luxury car right there. You have space comfortably for 3 adults at the back, 2 in the front for 5 adults. You got a lot of space in the boot. So you have a practical SUV, a luxury car, and a sports car. That's what the brief was, essentially, right? That was what the brief was for the Cayenne. Like, you know, it's basically at the platform level, very, very similar to the Volkswagen Touareg, the Audi Q7, Q8, Lamborghini Urus. I haven't driven the Urus, but I'm gonna bet that the Urus is faster, yeah, but the Cayenne is sharper. So do I forgive Porsche for creating the sport SUV as a category? Not sure. But the Cayenne is definitely a real kick-ass apology.